Welcome back, guys. This is Jay with Irish Outlaw Garage. It's a Thursday afternoon because my transmission in my semi decided it didn't want to work no more, and it spilled its guts. Its fluid caught on fire. I got towed twice and should have it back by Monday. Real life channel, folks. Now, since the happy part is over, let's talk about the sad part. Since I'm off, Zeppy's not here, I need something to do to keep myself busy or I'm going to go bananas. I'm going to go ahead and work on the interior of this car. The new seats are here from Jegs. The motor that you saw in the last video is sitting right there. I am not going to put that in unless Zeppy's here. That's something I want him to help me with. He was looking forward to that, so we'll get to that when he gets home, if I get this done. I've got a few hours. So this is the retro low back with a headrest seat. I called Jegs on them because honestly the Scat Pro Car 90s that I use, they've gotten ridiculous price. I don't know. Tariffs, I don't know. Don't care. All I know is this was in the budget. So here they are. It's not set up. I'm not going to set it up because I got to fight it to get back down. But I called Jegs. They said this seat is a great seat. It'll work great in your car. And I said, what do I need to put these in said car, as in the Cutlass? Do they have brackets? Do they have a set of brackets that fit this? Oh yeah, you'll have to get the brackets like for the Pro Car or the TMI. Great. So right there they are. These are for a 68 to 72 A-body with an original bench seat, which is what this is. That way you can use the original hold down bolts on one side. Then you have to drill and everything on the other side because there ain't none there. So that's no big deal, right? That's no big deal. That's great. These things right here, these are expensive, but they're awesome. I like using them. They said they fit with these seats. So I opened the box in the house. We're all excited. We're going to try them, pull them out. A little thin in the butt area, but whatever. Zeppy sat on it. I sat on it. Feels pretty good, right? Well, then I pull out the sliders. Here they are. Do you see anything on there that will fit to that there? Now there are holes drilled in here to put in here, but let me show you something. See these holes? Yeah. No, they don't fit the seat. And then on top of that, this hole is right in a weld. That's the first problem. So I go online and I type in OBS. Well, guess what? They pop up. Exact same seat on Amazon, on eBay, except they have little red trims for like a newer sports car or whatever you want to call it. The difference between them is the ones on Amazon are $370 for two. These are $250 on sale for one. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these. And Jegs, I'm trying real hard not to just absolutely go off about this, but American company, you should be treating Americans right, not taking them for extra money for a seat just because it has your fucking name on it. So I'm gonna get these ready and get these set to go in that car. But if somebody from Jegs watches this, you owe me about $250. in my opinion. And I will not buy another fucking thing from Jegs until I get it. You probably never watched this on some little podunk ass channel in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. But I have a reach. Whatever. I got to drill out these, get the bolts in them, get them set. The only thing I'm missing is my little wire that goes from one side to the other and make them go at the same time. But I can get that figured out. That's not a big deal. So let me get going. Tell you what, man. Everybody wonders why I'm always so pissed off. Shit like this. Ugh. I got that seat together, but look, honey, metrics in your US muscle cars. And just like that, I'm gonna get rained out. So, just another day in the life. Ran to town real quick. Got me some of these flat member bolts. The wide, whatever. We'll see if they work. The cheap son of a bitch don't even have a cover over that. Better than what was in it. Thank you, Aiden. Okay, I got to get these other two holes. They are not in this car because this is originally a bench seat car. So I use the real holes, the right holes for one side, and now I'm going to drill this out, but I'm heating it so it doesn't grab the carpet, it melts it. And this is a good Milwaukee bit, it can handle it. Just get it hot. It's not good on the bit, but I don't care. Zeppy's holding the camera, he's home. Went to the Science Center in St. Louis. Right through the carpet. There we go, there's one. There, I can get bolt holes, bolts through those, and we can bolt her down, and this seat is done. So the seats are in. Zeppy helped me out. It's raining, guys. It's not pouring, but just enough to make everything wet so we can't do nothing. That's how it goes, right? But they're in there, solid, pretty straight. Made the passenger one a little bit higher, that way if he's with me he can see out over the dash, because the way it is with me, like if we tested Amber in there, she'll have to use her booster seat like she does in the Javelin and in the Ranchero. She has to use them both, but she's short, that's how it goes. But I'm the one that's mainly going to be driving it, so we'll set the driver safe to me. But, well, Zeppy's drumming, got pizza face, got pizza all over his face. Slob. Anyway, we'll see if this dies down a little bit, and we'll keep putting a little bit more of that inside together, because I can't do nothing with the engine until it quits raining. I ain't taking a chance. Matter of fact, earlier I sprayed some WD-40 down the cylinder walls. That way they can stay water free from condensation as best possible. Anyway, hopefully we'll be back, either that or I'll see you tomorrow, because I'm off. I can't do nothing getting transmission, so that's how it goes. Okay, so I've been going through the loom, the wire loom here. Found our kick down, went over here to this damn pressure thing that went on these cars. Even if you had a TH350, they used that. I did that, but I got the shifter in. But one thing I never did, again, because I was in a hurry, was I never hooked up the light so you could see your indicator, and I never put the neutral safety or the backup lights in, and we're going to do that. But we can wait on that. I just needed this in there, and I need the seats mounted, because now we can drop her on the ground and maybe start getting the motor in it. You think? You want to try it? The headers are good and painted. So, what do you think? You want to try to get the motor in?
Let's try.
Well, it's getting lights going away, but we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, I've decided we are going to absolutely try to get this in while it's nice, because it is supposed to rain this weekend. And that leaves tomorrow. And I know Zeppy wants to see this motor go in. If I do it tomorrow without him, he'd be mad. He'd be angry. Yep, he's already giving me the look. So, gotta uncork it.
You putting the torque converter bolts in.
Huh? You guys, back of car. All right, forward. Push. A little more. Okay, hold up right there. Don't move. A little more. A little more. Keep going. Hold it. Damn thing. Ooh. Easy, chain. See the bolt? See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, coming forward. A little bit more. Right there. Ah, I got her a little crooked. No big deal. Shit. That was total accident. Total accident.
What'd you do?
Oh, you know, I pulled the bolt, the frickin' wrench off the thing, and she went too far down. Oh!
Perfect?
In there. That's crazy. That sumbitch popped right in there. There you go. She's in. I just got to tighten things, but looks pretty good. No, these are not staying on there. I just wanted them on there. You wouldn't believe how much easier this was without that damn air box. Because these things are so wide. I mean, Jesus. But hey, we got to check something. We got to check something. So yeah, we couldn't wait since the motor's in and it went that easy. I mean, it really is that easy. You don't need fancy concrete. You don't need anything. I had two old cutout VW Beetle floors underneath there and moved a 455 with a turbo 400 behind it into this car. You saw it. That's how long it took me to put this motor in here. So I don't want to hear, oh, but I don't have the room. Bullshit. We just did it. Me and my two boys. Anyway, we want to show you what this thing's gonna look like. Ha! What do you think?
I think it's alright.
I think it looks fantastic.
So do I.
This is gonna be so you can see the hood line is right here.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
So it's gonna stick up. Probably the hood will be about right there. So oh yeah. Kinda wishing we had the chrome scoop now, don't you? But that's okay. Black will work. We're using what we got, right?
Yep.
Cool. Look at all that horsepower. Actually, it ain't the horsepower on these, it's the torque. This thing's gonna be ridiculous. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this cross member in here and stuff like that. That way it's just sitting, you know, it's not just sitting on the jack. So, but I'm not sure what else I'm gonna do tonight, but I've got all day tomorrow, don't I, buddy? So I can start plumbing and putting things together, which is stuff, you know, he wanted to see the motor put in, definitely, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we did. It's awesome. It looks fantastic. I hope it runs as good as it looks. That's what I say, right? Yeah, please run as good as you look. Hey, good morning, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel where I can teach you how to fornicate with a football. Almost as good as a monkey. Today, we're putting these babies on. You notice that the paint lasted so well, but am I repainting them? No, I'm done. Right, Dixie Lee? We've had it. It's over. Anyway, a couple things. Got the shifter all hooked up, went down there, adjusted it out correctly. Nothing's hitting, none of the bolts are hitting. You got to make sure that your bolts that are going in, you know, into the tunnel don't hit nothing, and they don't. So, got to make sure they're short enough. And that's about it. Got that thing straightened out, and you know, like I said, I got everything together for the most part. That is not permanent. It's just sitting on there because it looks cool. Anyway, got me some ARP header bolts. Yep, I went all out, at least on something. Mr. Gaskets, these are those True Seals or whatever they are. And we're gonna try to get these headers up in here. And the reason I haven't put that away yet is because of these headers. I believe I can get that one on with no problem. Might have to get rid of that oil filter. This one, we got all that, but I don't know. With everything out of the way, I may be able to slide that up in there. I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, I did notice that this crossbar here, that one, it's loose. So I may try to tighten it. If that don't work, then I gotta replace that too. That's one thing I am not taking chances on, is steering. I can handle my brakes going out. Steering, nope. All right, let me see if I can get that up in there. Maybe. Look at that. Holy crap. Okay then. Hang right there, header. Okay, so that took me twice as long to get that header in as it did to put the whole motor and trans in. Now, I gotta do this side. And you'd think, since I got rid of all this crap, it'll fit. Nope. Hits the oil right there. Hits that where your oil filter sits, you know. So guess what? I gotta take this bolt out. I gotta lift the engine, and I'm not taking that off. Yes, you could take it off. I'm not taking it off because I don't have a gasket. They don't just fly off your shelves at the local parts store. So we'll just take this bolt out, and I'll maybe get the jack out, put a board, just lift it up enough to get it up over that hump, and it'll be fine. So I end up having to take the oil, basically what your, oh that's good, oil everywhere. Basically what your oil filter goes onto. Hate to do that, but it is what it is. I got to get that header up in there. Maybe I did that before, I don't remember. But that looks like a replaceable gasket, like you can take it off and on. Maybe I did that for a reason. Shit, I don't know. So, while that's drying, I normally wouldn't care, but he was pretty adamant about these, so I'm gonna make these look a little better. I did paint on those just a little bit, and we'll take a brush and do some of it. That way it burns on the first run. But yeah, so while I'm waiting on that, by the way, ordered me a new power steering hose. That won't be until Tuesday. Ordered me a new center link. That won't be until Tuesday, I think. And everything else. Oh, I got a rocker bridge, because under here I got one rocker bridge, and I'll show you when we get to it. I don't want to take them off until we're absolutely ready. But one of them was broke, but I was in such a hurry I went ahead and ran it broke. Yeah, I did. So while I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and get that shifter all put back together and
Maybe we'll work on a couple other things, get those gauges moved. Maybe I think I'll put a brand new set in here. That way these ain't, you know, gonna cause me problems, because I think they were bad. I think one of them at least was bad, and the oil was plugged, and that's great. Yeah, I've been fighting the possibility of rain this whole time, trying to get as much done without filming. Nothing really to see, just little here's and there's. I mean, boring. But I did do a few things here. Let me show you what I've got done so far. She's in there. Got the headers dirty again. Whatever, I'm done. But they are in. Did get the oil filter housing back on. This side is on. Got the motor mounts tight. So the motor and trans are completely installed. Now, something I've been trying to figure out. I've been trying to figure out this damn fuel system that I want to put in here, and unfortunately there is absolutely nowhere for me to hang this Evil Energy pump anywhere near where it needs to be. Now there comes the rain now. See, I stop, get on the camera, she starts raining. But I am still going to use a whole bunch of this Evil Energy stuff, even though I can't use the pump. I have a tank coming that is already converted to EFI. It should do exactly what we need it, and it's just a replacement tank. Literally comes in the mail. You stick the sending unit, has the pump on it, go. That's it. That's what I should have done to begin with, but I didn't, and now we're gonna have to wait, unless I might rig something up to make this thing work while I'm waiting on that. But one thing I have been digging into that we're gonna have to fix. Check this out. Now, this ain't real bad, okay? Spot there, little pinholes right in there, and then there's a spot right there. Now, these little spots, you know, other than the fenders, we just ain't gonna deal with that right now. That's another day. My son Aiden is a welder, and he's almost done with his schooling, and he said, well, I could weld that, and I said, you know, I gotta take the fuel tank out of it and all that crap. I don't think I really want to mess with that. We gotta take the tank. Well, now we're taking the tank out. So do we put some metal in there? But that's a lot of cutting, man. That's a lot of rot. I mean, it ain't rot, but you know what I mean? It's enough where you're gonna have to, I don't know, I may just get some plate and make out some pieces for it and have him weld it, I guess. Maybe I'll just use some damn short strand fiberglass just to make sure the holes are covered, make sure everything's sealed up. I don't know, but all right, I'll get back to you in a bit. Well, it is too long, so I had to get a hold of my guy, and I can drop it off tomorrow, and he's going to shorten it. This one is 54.5. I should have checked it when I first got it. The place that made this notoriously made things too long because they're used to semi-transmission, you know, how, you know, you got a little give on those. These you don't, especially with this car. So I'm sending it to him. He's going to shorten it up about 1.5 inches, and that should get us good. And my yoke, I went ahead and marked it because Tony's coming over. He wants to explain why this one would go all the way in the transmission I had in it, but not all the way in this one. There's something about it, but you can see that's how far when it hit, and I backed it out to about right there, and that made it basically 53 even is what I need this to be, so 1.5 inches. So anyway, I don't know how much more we're going to do tonight. Little bits here and there probably. Maybe do some wiring. We can do some stuff tonight. Let's say it's all together. I could possibly start putting the front end together, I guess. Maybe get that intake on there. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get that intake secured, get the distributor in it, since I don't have to raise and lower the motor no more. Okay, so I'm just doing some measuring and stuff for O2 sensors. My friend Tony stopped by and talked to me about this transmission. Turns out I had the wrong yoke. Ordered one, it'll be here Sunday. Or my Driveshaft guy, Scott, he may have one, but just in case, I got one coming because I need to remeasure it after I do that. So, we'll try that one. Got some other stuff that should be here soon, like a transmission cooler and all that kind of stuff, because I'm running AN through the whole thing, fuel system and all, every bit of it. So anyway, for tonight we're done. I'm gonna clean this out for the rest of the evening, so that should be fun. And then tomorrow I got to get up and go get parts from my truck and bring them down here to be refurbished. A couple things that have to be done. So it'll probably be tomorrow afternoon, sometime around there. But I'll be back. Zeppy will be with me this time. So yeah, not much recording today. Ain't much we can do. It just keeps raining and it is cold as hell. So jam session with me and Zeppy it is. Maybe see you tomorrow. Well, welcome back. Yeah. Been playing in the mud. It is what it is, guys. A few things that I've been doing while it was raining and I didn't want to get my camera out is I gutted all the wiring that I am not going to use. I reset it up for the starter. This goes down. I hooked it up. It's not hooked up. But I got it to where I need it to be. That way I can put this little doohickey, like drill a hole, stick it in there to hold it, and then I'm gonna have to get something to hold it against, like the valve cover down there. Just using the wire that was on it. It's good wire. Using all the original wires down to the starter and just kind of reloomed everything with black tape. Really horribly. Got that horn relay / power distributor. That's redone. The only thing I got to do is these wires right here. They go to my alternator. When I get that on here, it'll be fine. And then I got to hook up the ground and all that. But I'm tired of looking at this thing sitting the way it is. So we need to get the distributor in it first before we go doing anything. All kinds of goodies come in. This is a trans cooler. This freaking, that's the radiator. Speaker stuff, you know, got to have tunes. And this is the radiator. And then I also got this in today. See that little countersink in there? Yeah, this is the one I had. And it was good for the other transmission. But you can see the difference there. See how that countersink in there? Well, that gives me a 1/2 inch in further. This one was coming to about right here. This one, I stuck it in there and it goes to about right there, and then I can back it out about that far, which is exactly almost where this one will fit. So I'm gonna get underneath there, put this one in there and measure it. We'll get to that another time though. It's cold, wet, and I want to do something fun. So let's get the distributor set to lock. Okay. So we have got our, this is a Pro Comp. It is made by Speedmaster. I've had pretty good luck with these in the past. This allows me to lock it out 2-wire, and that way I can allow the ACES system to go ahead and run everything for me. Now I've had people say, you know, I've seen on forums and people have had problems with that. I've never had problems with it. I've never had problems with the timing on that ambulance. So we're just going to go ahead and put this in. And you know, I've got, let's say it does go wrong, I've got a distributor right there that goes right back in it if this ain't going to work. But this thing is very well made. So hopefully it'll do good. We have to lock this out so that ACES can control the timing. I would use the ACES Blackjack like I did in the ambulance, but they don't make one for an Oldsmobile yet. Or an AMC V8 yet. They're supposed to be getting on that. Worn the hell out. Pull this out. Blew this all off again. Keep this in hand. The lockdown. good. Alright, number one, right there. We'll take our assembly lube. Try to get all these holes. Put them in the gears. Oh. CRC, man. Get some up in here where your drive goes in. There on the seal. Just spread it around. This is all stuff that touches metal here and there, so we just get it all lubed up. There we go. We're lubed. So I want all the wiring on this side over here, okay? And that means number one should be like right there. No. Down in the hole. Nope, too far. Go back one. Nope, too far. Right there. Is it going in? Nope, it's not going in. May have to move that. Nope, there it went. Number one. Sweet. She is. That's awesome. And then we got our lockdown. Looks terrible. But we'll go ahead and stick that on here. Okay. First off, we got to get this gasket put in right. We got to get this thing glued on a little bit. This side I'm not so worried about. It'll go on pretty good. But the other side where it goes on to the intake, there's some, you know, it was obviously on a boat at some time. At some point it was on a boat and it got water corrosion in the back part of it, but we're going to take care of that problem. It's not a big deal. I got to get a little bit of sandpaper. Amazing. Brake clean will take off engine paint. Imagine that, huh? We're good now. Okay. Normally, I don't do the intake runners, but today we're doing the intake runners. She's glued. Just make sure everything's snug. And we'll go to the other side. It's going to take it a little time to even think about drying. That's more or less just to keep it in place while we put the intake on it, honestly. Alright. Okay, here we go. This big son bitch. Should be pretty close, ain't we? A couple bolts and longings. But for those keeping score at home, these are stainless bolts. Normally, I wouldn't care, but I really don't want anything to rust. Dang. I don't think we could have run an HEI if we wanted to. Look at this, bud. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. We couldn't have run an HEI if we wanted to. It wouldn't have fit. I didn't even think about that part. Good thing we're doing it this way. So we're stuck with this, or we'll have to get it ready to run if this don't work. Small capper. Damn. It's alright. That looks like she's snugged pretty good. Grease is pushing out the back. Well, not grease. Yeah. I think we're good. Yeah. Going from the inside out. One side after another, just like any other intake. I think this time we'll go up here. She's tight. Oh yeah. Try it all over. Aha! Big hoss. Well, that's on there. Okay. What else can we do? Well, that's just setting. Wish I had. Oh, this light's dead too now. That's great. All right, we'll be back. Well, there's that. I've been making sure, just kind of doing other things while I'm letting it sit, and put a crank on it a couple times, and she's snug. Ain't going nowhere. I still might try to find the actual studs and bolts that these things take. They're just unobtainium. But it looks like everything is going to plan just like it should. I also did a couple other things here. If I had a flashlight, I'd show you. It's getting dark, and this one died. My little one died. Yeah, I've been rebuilding on those. Just the old 2X semi-gloss. That's what I'm using all over. Bought this too to maybe do the underside. Quick paint, make it look better, but trust me, it looks a lot better than it did. I've been out here brake cleaned in a scrub brush, wire brush, and power steering is just about ready to go on. So, my truck's still not done. I'm waiting on some parts that'll be here at like 10:30 in the morning. Yesterday I was running parts and it got to be late, and I just came out here and did a few things. I can go over that with you. It's been a week, but like again, real life. So I got the radiator, went ahead and put the outboard trans cooler on here. I got one of them ones off the Amazon website that was already 6 AN fitting and I put it on the radiator, and I ran the lines down to the transmission. Now, I could show you how I do that, but I mean, it's pretty simple. We'll do it when we do the fuel lines, if I ever get a fuel tank, because it sounds like they're completely back ordered, even though it's already paid for. Great. I got the power steering pump and everything mounted where they're supposed to be, and mocked up and cleaned up and painted. The bracket on the power steering pump was bent, so I just kind of hammered on a little bit, got it straightened out. Now it looks like everything lines up. Oh, what else did I do? Been messing with wiring. Messing with wiring, my favorite. But cleaned up all the wires. Now we're down to just what's essential for the car. Took the battery up to it, made sure I had power. And then honestly, last night I just kind of went through all the lights, made sure everything worked. Rewired the front end because I never touched this over here, so none of the side marker lights were working correctly. They're supposed to blink off the opposite of the front marker light. And the front marker lights weren't on whenever you pulled the switch. It's always been that way, and now I've got it hooked up right. But I got some essentials here that I had ordered a long time ago to get this cooling system knocked out. I forgot I need horns. I'd really like my horns to work, but we can work on that. Other than that, I've just been mocking up. I'll show you. So, what we got, this here line and these little clamps, these are going to play a pivotal role because I'm going to drill one hole, or maybe two, I don't know, and each one of these is going to be black zip tied down, and they go down there. Right there's the transmission outputs for the cooler. They come up and around, and this will all be fastened in, and they go down and around to my cooler, which is right there. Maybe get you a better look at that in a bit. And all this line and all this is all evil energy. It's good quality stuff. They sell a lot of it. I'm sure a lot of you AFI guys have used it in the past. And good people, good company. Enjoyed talking to them about what I'm doing. It's unfortunate I can't use their fuel pump because I just don't want everything welded and hanging down in the back. Inline isn't very good for this one. So, but that's okay. I've got two pumps and we can put them on something else. I mean, they would work on Artemis actually, and we could maybe do that instead of using the mechanical pumps that fail on me every friggin' 5 minutes. But we'll see. Anyway, on to the ACES stuff. This is our main input for the Killshot or Killshot 2, both the same. I did notice that this still has a fuel pressure hookup, which is actually internal in the Killshot 2, but this will also work with the Killshot. This is my, right here, this is my O2 sensor hookup, and I'm gonna have to get an extension because it won't reach all the way down there because this has to be pulled up like this. I really need an extension for everything. But once I get that mocked up, we'll be able to, you know, see it a little more clearly of how we're going to wire it around here. I know we're going to put the coil about right there, I'm thinking. Probably fuel pressure regulator right in here or somewhere in that area, and that'll also be evil energy. I do have the line for my vacuum for my transmission. I do have a metal line that I'm going to use that'll come up to about right here, and then it can come up to the right here, because there are no zero vacuum ports on this engine because I am going to lose vacuum, but it still should be enough to run that because this cam isn't huge, you know. So, but that's about it. But I did get, you know, a lot of the interior wired, and I'm just kind of out of sorts, guys, because I'm sitting on my ass and not working. So, but I've been wiring. I got some parts and pieces in here, and I can show you right here is all my ACES stuff that will be inside. You got your relays and your fuses. This goes outside yet. That's for, what you call it. Damn, I just fogged up. Camera lens fogged up. I walked in here, but this is my computer. I have it hooked up. I was just kind of mocking it where I want to put it. I thought about, I don't know. I don't really want it on the carpet because they get warm. I don't really want it up here, so probably up on the firewall in there somewhere. Also wired up the reverse and the neutral safety switch, so it's legal for drag strips and stuff like that. Then I tried to crank it, and she said no. No, you're not going to be doing that today. But neutral safety switch is working, so we got a problem down here, probably with the starter itself. Who the hell knows? It's me, right? So it's probably bad. Did get this mocked up. We'll have to cut it. It'll be about like that. Probably. About like that. It's a little bit of a bend, but I don't think it'll be too bad as long as we keep some kind of lubrication in it. Oh boy. And then that should be about it. But yeah, everything worked. So power steering pump I got straightened out, so now she's nice and straight. This is just the old alternator. It's junk. It's garbage, so we'll get another one. But I'm just gonna kind of tinker around, put things together, maybe start working on that starter problem. But it's coming along. I just wish I had better circumstances to be a little bit cheerier than I am. Okay, so I had to look for some bolts and some washers and stuff to make this fit. Got a 195 in there, new gasket, only siliconed the bottom of it. That should be good enough. If not, we'll just take it off and redo it. It's a 90-cent freaking gasket. This hose was still good, so I left it, because if not, that'll be the first thing that blows on the Power Tour. Then I got my new hoses. Yeah, Master Pros. It's fine. I use them. See, that fits damn near perfect. I don't think I'm changing any of that. I'm not even gonna cut that. It does look like it bends back a little here. Maybe I will take a little bit off of it, but not much, because look how close that is. I think I'd rather it's not in a bad bend. That's like a natural bend, so I think I'll leave that alone. This one here though, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut just a little bit off at this end, but yeah, it's a little bit bent right there. I think if I just cut just a little, it don't take much, just, you know, like a ½ an inch, boom, it'll stick right on there. Oh crap, I gotta tighten that yet too. I forgot about that thing. I have to silicone that, but okay. This looks to be, for the most part, the cooling system. Oh, by the way, yeah, no heater with a 195. Why? Why would I do that? Number one, it's because 195 isn't so much the temperature. I don't look at it so much as the temperature that the car's going to run. I look at it as that is when the thermostat is going to open, slowing down the flow through your radiator. You can't just have flowing water. That whole thing, no thermostat, bad idea. Especially if you're running EFI. If you're running EFI, 195. Gotta be. Just gotta get up there to temp to make that thing run just perfect. I think the ACES thing is set up at 192 is when things start to happen. You know, you got to get up there. Maybe it was it 187? Maybe it's 187. Well, I have to look whenever we go to put the thing on, but I'm pretty sure the optimal range is 192. So anyway, let me fiddle fart around and find a few more things to figure out. Mail call. Kick down switch. This also will work some of the pressures in that Turbo 400. And this was originally a Turbo 350 car, but as luck had it, GM always uses the same wiring harness. They just put whatever it had in it. This one didn't have the bracket and it didn't have the switch, but the wiring is there. So we need to get this thing installed. And it'll go just like that. So when you push the throttle, this comes back, whoop, whoop, actuates the switch. And Inline Tube was kind enough to send it with the bolt. That's a long ass bolt now. This little typical kickdown switch that's in 50 gazillion cars is unavailable at the parts store. Alright. But whatever. We'll just get this in while we got it. That way the pedal's set up and I can start working on throttle linkage and just a few little other odds and ends. Get in there. You gotta take it easy on these electrical parts. What a beautiful day. Beautiful day. I just don't like the way that looks. There we go. She's in there. I can put them suckers in there. This just goes over the four. There's like a rotator there for your pedal that sits in here. There's an upper part, or a part that goes back here, and then this just bolts, and when the throttle gets hit, it takes her and goes kick down. Vroom, vroom. Truck part's still not in, but we're still going. You can see right there, that is a ground strap wire that goes from the frame. Clean the paint off first. Yes, I did. And then it goes to the block right there, and that is also where the ground for the starter, or you know, for the battery. And I'll run that better, but yeah, very important. A lot of people forget that and they don't worry about it. Like, you know, you'll just have your regular body grounds. I got one here and I got one over there, but this is direct contact to the frame. So that should take care of all of our grounding issues. One thing I did find out to hook the starter up, this post is stripped. It will not tighten. So a new one will be here this afternoon. Warranty. Thank you, O'Reilly's. They always stand by their warranty stuff. So, what can we do now? What can we do? I know. Since we ain't got a fuel tank, let's go ahead and try to change that frickin' link bar there. This should be fun. Well, I got all the castle nuts off and everything was going just rather beautifully. And then I noticed that our good pickle fork done left the chat. That's what I get for cleaning up the garage. Either that or Zeppy was using it to dig for worms. But my parts are in, so I'm gonna go take care of my truck. We'll be back on this after a while. Sold a car. Yeah. I sold a car because I got more important things to do around here. Here it is. I don't know what would you call this? Drag link. I call them drag links. Just a link, right? This side hooks to your driver's side tie rod. This one to your right side. This hooks to that idler arm, and you'll notice it's tight, it's snug, everything's good. This side, nope. It turns, but see that one's still good. This one is not. This is too easy, and you can move it side to side like that, so it's bad. Got our new one here from O'Reilly. Did me a solid on this one. Got everything I need, and we'll double check the size, and there we go. Got the new foam. Everything looks about the same. Should be. Still gonna have to probably get it aligned, but let me get this back up in there. We need to keep moving. Okay. is in there. I have not put the pins in yet, and I have not tightened these yet. I'm going to grease them real quick before I tighten them. It's easier to get grease in these. You know, tighten them down, put the pins all in everything, and we got new steering. I mean, these tie rods are good. They could use a new boot, but there's nothing wrong with them at all. They move, they do everything they're supposed to do. So we'll just leave it at that. Let me get these greased up and get the pins in all these new cotter keys and move on to something else. Oh yeah, I also put the stabilizer bushings right there in there. If you're asking, that grease, that's actually this stuff. I love this stuff. It gets into all the places. So all right, let me get this buttoned up. Okay, that's buttoned up. Before it gets too dark, I turn my power on. Let's see if she cranks, because I hooked up the neutral safety switch. Testing on 1. Let's see if I did it. Key on. Oh yeah. Now, let's see if my neutral safety switch works. It's in reverse. No start. So, right now, that's park. Crank. There's reverse. No crank. Neutral. Crank. So let's leave the key on. Let's go to reverse. I've never touched them. Not once. No changing the bulbs, no nothing. Sweet. Alright. Always playing badminton without a net. Well, this is cool. So I can button this up, but I got to get this light hooked up first. I've already got the ends on it. I'm gonna hook them up with the dimmer switch and everything. That way this and these are all dimmered, and then this volt gauge will be running off of a key switch power. This will be hooked up with a copper line, and this will be hooked up on the opposite side of our ACES EFI temp sender. So, no horn. Damn it! So, before I button up this radiator situation, I realized that I don't have a horn. It wasn't working. So, I happen to have a few vehicles laying around that have horns, and one that ain't being driven at all and is too far gone to drive. I decided I'm gonna steal the horns, plural, that it had on it, and let's just say the horn doesn't fit the car. The whole neighborhood can hear that. And it's so funny, it's not even embarrassing, it's great. Moving on. Alright, it's all buttoned up. Forgot something. I gotta put this in. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Gotta leave that in there when you do it though. You have to, because that keeps it, if it's gonna bend, it, you know. Well, I was installing the dipstick, that went well. Ordered more. Anyway, that's my life. So all that was all going on, and I sold a car and I did all that stuff. I haven't touched the wiring in here yet. I'm getting ready to do that probably now, maybe, I don't know. But my glass guy came by and took the back glass out for me so I could clean it up so he could reseal it. Wish you would have just slopped some stuff on it and just put it back on. So, yeah, this has got to be fixed because it was leaking in here and down in here. And that's how bad it was leaking. It was going down this little drain hole down into the trunk, and that's why the trunk floor looks like, that. So we got to take care of it. So I need to get this. I'm going to run the grinder wheel, blow it out, and probably just take some, I don't know, maybe I ain't going to be able to weld any of that. There's enough, he said there's enough there for him to latch to, but I got to get these holes filled. So we're going to have to sand this all out, and then I'll fill it, and I'll put like a little sheen of stuff over the top of it, as long as right here. But this has the thing where it screws in from the back in these little deals right here. So, I mean, the chrome piece back here is fine, but we're gonna have to get this sanded down quickly so he can come put this back in. I'd say we might as well rip that shit out of there, I guess. Yeah, we'll clean it out. I don't know, but that needs cleaned up. Okay, so I was sanding and doing some stuff and heard these jokers were doing something over there in the dark. But this is a lot of work, ain't it, Zeppelin? Believe it or not, it is not as bad as Artemis was at the exact same time last year. But Artemis was running. We're not. So I went around with a screwdriver and just banged on it. You find another spot? Yeah. You just barely tap, and we want to know where the weakest places are. We want all strong metal. We're going to go ahead and we'll fiberglass this all the way down to right down there where the trunk, you know, right down there. We're just going to cover the whole thing, sand it smooth, and probably put like a really thin coat of something on it. But you don't want paint there because you want that shit to stick. Probably stick to fiberglass better than it will. Maybe we'll just fiberglass it and then we'll come down to the window line with some kind of paint. But for now, I'm just gonna put some of that rust killer I got. You're just gonna find every hole in the whole damn car. But I'm gonna try and get some of that rust stuff I have and spray her down and just kind of let it sit for a while. See where we're at from there. It's getting late and I gotta work tomorrow, believe it or not, but it'll be a late work tomorrow. I'm gonna start running my butt off, so we'll see. Well, I got that rust inhibitor stuff from Permatex on most of it. I didn't put it up there yet because I'm gonna sand all that paint out from that channel. It may not be, probably not tonight, but I'm gonna try and fill that. Put me some stuff in there and just hope for the best. That's what we're gonna do because I don't have time to really fix it. It's the way it goes. Okay, so I got everything mocked. These aren't clamped down. I'm not so sure how high. This belt is awful long. It's stretched pretty good. It's stretched pretty good. That's all the way up here. I want that thing down here. Is where I want it, so we're gonna have to get a shorter belt. Power steering, on the other hand, is perfect. And it is in exact line. I just checked it. Of course, you can't really tell until it's really running. But I want this down as far as possible. That way I can cock this and cut this down to get this as low as possible, because I'm pretty sure that hood's gonna come right over the top of that. So, we'll see. I got that thing cleaned back off and glued. There's the bottom one is mocked. It actually looks pretty good. I'll probably cut about a 1/2 inch off of there and get that little bit of a kink out of there, but it ain't much. You can see how that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take just a little off of it. But well, progress. We got neutral safety. We got reverse lights. We've got a complete engine except for the oil dipstick, but I'm going to take care of that. I've got a solution. But yeah, next, there's a couple things I need to do. I need to get in here. I can't remember which side it is, but I got a rocker bridge that's broke. It's been that way. I got to find the right fitting for the coolant temp sensor, which is going to be on that side. I'll just put the one that goes directly into the R gauges in there. I think that's actually the wire for it. Yeah, coolant temp sense. But other than that, I got some things that I'm going to put on those new valve covers I got that'll keep this in line up there. And that way, you know, I don't have wires hanging everywhere. But this sucker's, that ain't going anywhere. She's done. Still got to put the bottom bolts in this. But, yeah. What a day. The back, don't even get me started. So I'm trying to put as much in a video as possible. Everything, I'm telling you right now, just like every other time when I'm in a crunch, it's going to be at night. And luckily I got good lights for all this. So I haven't even gotten my big light out yet. But so far, steering is really tight. So can't wait to get that worked in. Probably, definitely, mostly definitely, we're gonna have to have it aligned, but it's ready to go if it needs to do that. It's not a big deal. Waiting on a friggin' fuel tank. I can't do nothing. I'm just gonna keep mocking up, and I mean, I pretty much showed you the wiring harness of how it's gonna go. I gotta find a damn extension yet for that O2 sensor. You can tell I'm tired. It's been a long day. Been a long freaking year so far. So welcome to a week later. It has done nothing but rain, and I have done nothing but work. Since my truck broke down, now it's haul ass, get everything done as quick as possible, and then get home and night wrench with the possibility of it might rain. So I've skipped some things, but I hope you guys understand. I had to keep moving. I had to keep moving in the rain. I can't have this thing out here, but I can show you what I've done. So here's what's happening right now. I'm getting the last of the fuel that's left in the tank. That's still from Mustang I pulled out. We've been using it around here, and that jug's about full. And then I'm gonna have to fill that thing up too. I'll have to put a cap on that. But yeah, I just use my backup clicky clack. It's better than them other damn things. So just buy one of those. If you're gonna use electric pump for your carburetor, buy one of those damn things and just put a damn regulator on it. They're better pumps. There. unhook the pump here. Switch this over. Yeah. And put that right in there. Then we'll come over here and we'll put that right in there. Well, maybe. Yeah, that'll work. But I filled this one out as full as I want it. And then we'll use that whenever we go to try to start this thing up. Oh, I'm getting old. Put this over here for now. And then once that one's full, I don't know, I may have to find something else. That red can over there has diesel in it like it's, you know, supposed to. On to things I've done. So, a few things. Radiator. Still got to get hose clamps. I don't want to take this off because it's supposed to rain still. But got my valve covers on there. I replaced the rocker bridge on this side. And other than that, I got everything pretty well straightened out. But we ran into another problem, as you found out. And that would be this window ledge. I've been coming out here putting just enough fiberglass on that ledge to make it flat, and then this is just a filler primer. I got a sand on it, and I've got a couple little spots I want to fill with some fiberglass, and I'll just use a screwdriver, just mix up this tiny little bit, and then I'll sand this just a little, and I'm gonna paint it black with like I don't know, I've got some tractor paint and stuff, and I don't give a shit what it looks like as long as it ain't rusty. That's all I care about. Why has everybody got such big wheels on their Jeeps and they don't look like they ever made it through? Oh look, a Ford Ranger and a train and semi hitting his Jake brakes right by the house. Happens all the time. What I'm doing is I'm just mixing up just a hair bit, just a little bit of fiberglass. Then I'm going to take my screwdriver, otherwise known as the trunk key, and I'm going to go in these little holes. I've already sanded this down a little. I'm just going to take a little bit on my screwdriver here, and we're going to push this into these holes here. I know this is probably means nothing, because once we get the urethane on here, it'll fill these holes, but peace of mind. Little peace of mind. I was out here every night, wasn't I, buddy? Mm-hmm. Ain't been spending much time with the family trying to get this, because at this point last year, and if you're thinking of Power Tour where we took the ambulance, right now we were putting the last touches on the ass end of him, like redoing his we were redoing his floor in the rear. We were, and we don't even have a running car yet.
That's kind of
yeah, we're on a time crunch, as we like to call it. Look at that. Think that'll work?
Yeah.
I think so. We'll sand that down. Once that gets up here, do you see anywhere else? I don't.
I don't either.
Well, I'd say we're pretty damn close. Sanded this down up here too. I'll take a screwdriver. There's a little bitty pinhole right there. Like I said, it may seem like a waste to some people, but I don't want anybody to have to deal with this later. I think we got it. We'll
I think the other person he's saying about was me.
What? What'd you say?
think the other person you're saying about that has to do this probably again is me.
Yeah, if something ever, I don't want it to rust any worse than it already has. Way down the line, Zeppy gets this car. I don't want him to have to deal with it. I'm still gonna have to deal with this shit. We're gonna have to, at some point, we're gonna have to dig this out a little bit, V-cut it, and then fill it. But the only thing I'm worried about right now is this window. That's it. Once we get this, we'll start worrying about the rest. And we're also gonna do a bunch of rust repair in the trunk, which means we're just gonna fill it. But we're gonna wait till we get the fuel tank out of it, and then while the fuel tank's out, I'll get in there and we'll stick it through. We'll put some mesh underneath it or something, that way it sticks to the floor. But yeah, this not good. I got the fuel tank out, original by the way. The only thing I did was put a new sending unit in it. It's clean on the inside, I know it is. So we'll get that ready to put the fuel pump in. And while I had her apart, went ahead and filled her in. I just cut some of this up in little squares and stuff and put it in the bigger holes. I already had that one done. And the reason I'm doing it now is because before I put the tank in it, I'm going to go up underneath there and, you know, cut everything off decent, grind it down, and then I'm going to shoot this black, and underneath I'm going to use rust barrier paint, you know, that stuff that Duplicolor makes. But yep, there's where we're at. Really, to do that right, I would get me some seam sealer on that corner right there, and that one too, but we're not going to deal with that right now. We just want to get mainly the window to quit leaking and get this to where we can put carpet on it, and maybe it won't get as bad as it was or could be, you know. So good enough. I'm not even going to, probably not even going to grind that off. I'm just going to leave it. Paint doesn't stick to it very well, but I don't care. We're doing what we're doing. I told you, I'm just working. I'm not so worried about cameraing, but I got it all sanded down. Ask me if I care. I don't. So this will wipe off. I can just take some brake clean and, but looks a lot better than it was. And I went ahead and spray painted the interior, because you know that's what we white trash do. This side just needs cleaned off. I accidentally did that. This was a surprisingly old can of gloss. I thought I grabbed a semi-gloss, so shiny it is, but whole lots better. All right, it's a couple days later. Actually, a day later or a couple days later, I don't know. A couple days later. Got my pump assembly in from ACES, and I'm going to install that. A couple things you're going to need: 2 1/8 hole saw. I had a set, don't know where it went, so I just went and bought this Milwaukee hole dozer. It's an automatic thing. It'll work. That way, if I ever need to get more, I just run to the local Rural King and get them. Now, take this bottom holder ring. Zeppy and them are playing badminton over here, and you set it on here and get it where you want it. Nice flat space is probably the best, but with this gasket you can actually get it, you can put it, if you don't have a choice, you can put it on the ribbed areas. I don't need to do that. I'm just going to put it right here. One thing I noticed I probably will have to do is, if the trunk floor is too short here, I'll probably have to finesse it a little bit, that way it don't, you know, ruin anything. But I found my center, measured it out with my eye, because I can't measure anything, but I got it pretty well centered with a black marker, and that's where I'm going to start with this. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure this thing is clean and blown out, no fuel. I've already done that, okay? Next thing you want is a little bit of grease, in my opinion. Get some grease on this thing, that way it catches a lot of the metal, because you're going to have to put, you know, a vacuum. You're going to need a vacuum and a few other things. But I think we're ready to go here. Slow speed.
like so. Lock her in. Go on the slowest speed. Then take and some grease on that sucker. Old wheel bearing grease. We're just using the very, very edge here. What about there? Nice and easy. Now we're on. We're down. Let's put my face right over the hole. That way if it does have a spark, it blows your face right off. Probably what I should do is I can make this thing stay running. It's going to get noisy, but blowing a little bit of constant air. Goddamn Milwaukee. Come on, man. There we go, come on. Burrs. Perfect. Yep. We're good. Now, clean out what we did. What you want to do is, this thing has a flange right there. And we've already got our hole drilled perfectly. It's gonna, that's perfect. What is going on with that? But that was drilled perfectly. Can't believe it. We're gonna take our 1/4-inch drill bit, put her on high speed. We're gonna use this as a template. Maybe. See if we can't do this. Got to hook this thing through. Take your fingers. Things line back up in the hole. Whoops. Wow. Some bitch. Now, if you're wondering about this big ass maxi pad, this is your normal screen. This big bastard, I can't think of the name of it. If I can think of it or see it, I'll put it down here. This, because of fuel slosh, because there ain't no baffles like a regular EFI tank where there's baffles around this. This don't have that, so this will soak in fuel, and it'll have enough there. Hopefully, if you're doing, you know, whirly-woos, it'll have enough in it to keep it going until the gas gets back to it. Just keep your damn tank full. Alright, moment of truth. Well, they didn't make that part easy. So those suck to get in. Yeah, those really suck to get in. Now I don't want to rip the freaking thing. Aha! Well, damn thing. So anyway, get this cleaned up. These ain't tight yet. I gotta tighten these down, and that'll bring this thing flush, so to speak. And it'll definitely bring this down more. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in there, but that sucker is exactly just about maybe a ½ inch from the bottom, right down there. I can get my flashlight underneath it, just barely. Once we crush that down, she's going to be about a ½ inch from the floor. And I have that, you can see it in there kind of. Get my crap out of the way, but that's that big maxi pad, and it's facing this way. That way, whenever I put my sending unit and everything, because I'm going to use the sending unit, put it in and we'll just block it off, and then I'm going to use all the vents. That way it's got the natural venting system of the original car, and this has a vent right here that you can use to go up and do whatever it wants. And this is your pump out, and this is your return. Kind of wish it was the other way around, because all my shit's going to be on this side of the car, but that's okay. We just run it out like that and run it out like that over to the side. And also that big ass sock, that's my 100 micron filter, so all we got to do is put one up front. Well, okay, got that sucker blocked off with the pristine instrument, plugged it, bolt, old school. I am going to use these, like I said, these are 5/16, and these are 3/8. So I gotta get some 5/16 line and some 3/8 line, and I need to replace a couple in that little thing in the top that goes behind the seat so you can catch the whole car on fire. Yeah, but that went in. I ended up taking this back out because I wasn't exactly happy with how it was sitting in there. Once you got it flat, I was still a little too close. I wanted it up a little, so went to take it back out, and every one of the little O-rings just gone. They're junk. And luckily I have some O-rings. I don't know if they're the right ones or not, but they're gonna have to work. Got her tightened back down. I was sitting there going all around these things, right? And I couldn't find one of the nuts. I was just trying to get it done. It's getting late, you know. I'm getting eaten by bugs and everything else. I looked everywhere. I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go find a new nut with the little lock washer star thingy on it. And I went, God, where could it be? And I went like this. It was stuck to my glasses. These are magnets. You can put like whatever thing, what are they called? Pair eyewear. It was stuck to my glasses right there. Whatever. It's done. It's absolutely done. Everything looks good now. The reason I did it is because I reached something down in there and I tried to just move that sock just a little bit. Nope, it's too close. One of the ribs that comes from the bottom, it was sitting too close to that, so I had to lift it back up. That's just name of the game and where it landed. So we just got to remember when she gets down to about a quarter tank, it's trying to put fuel in it. I probably will replace this tank sometime, but that'll be in the future. I'll never let it get low enough that it won't get fuel. Let's see what else, a couple things I did. I don't know if I showed how nice the trunk turned out. Oh, I missed a spot. There's a hole right there. God damn, that does go all the way down. Okay, I need to fix that. Notice how I sanded that down? Nope, another day. But all that is fixed, kinda. It'll have to do. It's gonna do, pig. It's got to do. He's gonna come put that in tomorrow. Looks better than it was. Another thing I did was I did get the dipstick in there. And it's in there pretty good. It ain't going nowhere. I ended up shaving a little bit off of the rings that press in there, because if I have to take the headers off of this for any reason, you ain't getting those headers off with this end, so you got to pull it out anyway. So what I did was I got it just where it'll slide in. You know, I could just go pop and it'll pop in, and I put silicone all around it. It's a mess down there right now. It's been sitting for a few hours, but I had to do that. I actually bought 2 of these. The first one I messed up, and again, I'm just trying to, you know, get things done. I'm in a hurry, but I did do that, so that is done. Tank ready. Now I need to paint underneath. I need to get underneath there and paint all that, probably for another day. You guys don't need to see me do that. I'm just gonna go and that's it. So onward. Maybe see you tomorrow night. Afternoon, back at it. Home early, worked good enough. I've been trying to get things done around here, so I'm bringing you in for this. Went ahead and got the pump's good. I went ahead and put an undercoating over, and it's getting windy because it acts like it's gonna rain. I just can't win for losing. I put an undercoating on the top of the tank, and then I also put an undercoating underneath on the trunk floor. And then first thing I said is I may have to cut a hole or do some damage to the trunk to get that to fit where it's going to sit. It really needed to be further forward, but found a nice flat spot and I was going to use it. So here's where we're at. I have to leave this up. I got it tied down because this wind really picked up. I'm not sure. I may have to go buy a tarp and cover this car, because Brett was going to be here to put my window in, but he got super busy, so that ain't been done yet. But right there, you can see I already beat it up with a mallet. This is where it needs to be, and see how rotten that is already? I'm just going to cut it out. I'm just going to cut it out, and then we'll use like silicone and a piece of flat steel or something, and I'll just, I don't know, we'll just stick it on there somehow, but we're gonna have to leave that open. That way I can access that. I'm not fucking around with that taking the tank out shit. That sucks. Let me get this cut out without cutting the brace. The brace is right here. So I'm just gonna cut out this big piece of rot, and then we'll worry about it, because I'm gonna have to cover that, and then it's just not gonna work. I'm just gonna cut it out. Alright, got that out. Had to take a little break because windshield's in. Yeah, that looks really good. Thank you, Brett. Alright, Schmitty's did their job. That looks really good. Really, really good. Look at that. You can't even notice it. And there's actually a plastic piece that goes over the top of that that screws against it. And if we wanted to, we could put that on there, but it's fine. Least of our worries right now, ain't it? Yep. Oh. Well, let me get to work on this fuel tank. Got the hole cut out so the pump is accessible. Hopefully it's big enough. If it ain't, I'm gonna cut it more. Don't care. Right, buddy? Yep. All right. With the help of the Zappy man, I way overcut this, but that's okay. I'm gonna cut more of this out, like to here, and then we're gonna hammer this thing down flat to the tank, and I'm gonna run the lines through here. That makes this thing completely accessible. We can get everything out easy. I'll go ahead and put some clips on this that hooks to the wires, and I've got some things we can stick in that wall there. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're gonna cut more of this out, and then beat this down flat like it's supposed to be, and then we'll seal it somehow, but we'll run the lines in and out up here. That leaves this thing accessible. If we ever lose a fuel pump, it's right there. Right, buddy? Mm-hmm. Yep, we're thinking ahead now. God, that looks good. Anyway, let me do some more cutting and some bending. So this is gonna work. I'm gonna run your main line and your return line. I'm just running this all the way. And then I found that I can run the power line, you know, inside now. Because it's coming right to here, I'll just run it inside. And now, I can't believe it, I have access to this sumbitch if it ever goes bad. I mean, a lot of people probably do this, but I've never done it. So, I'm probably gonna make some mistakes and I'll probably fix them later. But for now, this is gonna work. So let me get some of these lines ran. It is windy as hell. It just calmed down, so I'm sure something's about to hit. It's gonna start getting really windy. It ain't rain though. It ain't rained. I can handle the wind. Don't like the rain. So what I've decided is I'm gonna use the hard metal line for the return that's already there. That way this is my pressure line. That way it's full-blown pressure on this PTFE. And then after your pressure regulator, it just needs, you know, to get back to here. So I'm just going to use the line that's already there. Simple. I got everything where I want it, but you just got to figure out where you want shit to go and out of the way. So that'll work perfectly. You also don't want a huge bend. That's going to be a problem with coming off of the throttle body. And I don't mind it coming down out of here, but going in, I want that sucker to not have much of a bend, and I'd rather it be the line. So this one will be in, and that keeps that down like that. We'll run that like that. We can strap that to something. This is going to be a problem with the hood. We're going to have to make that hood really wide, unless we go with a 45. I really don't want to do that, because that's, some people say it's a restriction, some people don't. But I could put a 45 on there. This is just that piece of line that I cut off in the back because I accidentally kinked it. It was an accident. All right, let me make some more line fittings. And
Mr. Spider's trying to get to me again.
Which one?
Right there.
The little, oh, that's one of them fancy ones. The ones that bite you. They all bite you.
Yeah.
But I don't think that one's a bad one. No, that's just a regular old house spider. We don't kill spiders around here unless they're a dangerous one, and even then I'll try to move them. I've been bitten by a brown recluse. It ain't no fun. So I need to spray the yard this year. We've already found a tick, and I ain't had ticks or fleas around here for 10 years, and they're finally making it here. But anyway, let me make some lines. Okay, all lines fabricated. Look how that worked out. That is perfect. So you can access this, you have room for that. This goes up and around up to the return side of the throttle body, which either one can be returned, okay? And this one is your inlet, and it's coming down and around and out of the way of the transmission. And I haven't tightened this up yet, but we can move that however we want it. And my coil is going right here. So I wanted to make sure we had enough room. It's gonna be a little tight in there. I mean, I could put it somewhere else, but I wanted this up here. And that's a 30 micron is what it is. And this is all evil energy. All of it. All the line, everything. Like I said before, I was going to use the pumps, but I just could not figure out the best way to do that. I'd like to thank Evil Energy for helping me with this, for promoting this build. And you can go right down in the description of this video and it'll send you a link where you get a special deal with these. So make sure you go down there and check that out. Just go ahead and click on it. That might help me out too. It'll definitely help them out. So they're available on Amazon all over. Good stuff. I've been using it for a while. But all these fittings, all the line, all Evil Energy. All right, buddy. Now I got to hook up to that metal line. That's what our return. This is not hooked up to anything yet. None of this is tight because I'm gonna blow through it all. But yeah, we just got to get that hooked up to that metal line down yonder, and that's it. It's gonna be hard to show that because it got dark on us. Well, all that's left is just to get the bolt situation right for the throttle body, wire up. Can't believe we're here. We are here. So yeah, I'll show you me doing all that. We ain't gonna miss starting this thing. I gotta get some wire. I don't have long enough wire for the fuel pump. I need to make a ground for the fuel pump and then figure out how to kind of cover it so nothing can get to it. As far as putting things back there, I don't want to hit anything. Jesus, that would suck. But maybe tomorrow night we'll keep going, and then I'm off Saturday. I did that on purpose so I could get this shit done. So I'll either see you tomorrow night or Saturday. Hey, go to the old Printify down there in the description. Irish Outlaw Garage. Get you some merch. Got hats, got shirts, got all kinds of stuff in there. Helps out the channel a little. I don't make very much on them. So, all right, we'll see you in a day or two. Well, good evening. It's Friday night. I got home, it was daylight, now it's dark again, but you know, I'm just gonna keep on going. Just gonna keep on going. I got tomorrow off, so we can get a lot done tomorrow. But I'm already ahead of the game. I went ahead and buttoned up the back, buttoned up the wiring for the fuel pump. Just one wire and a good ground. Found a good solid body ground back there. Made sure it worked. Everything is set up perfectly, I believe, back there for now. Run the wire up to the wiring harness for the fuel pump. That's locked in. Bought its own sheath from the very back all the way up to almost under the dash where that wire is going to meet. And I'll make sure that wire is completely safe. Then I went ahead and buttoned up the fuel tank, got all the vents hooked up, got everything ready to roll, got the ground back on the sending unit, and I think that's about it back there. I'm pretty sure that's about what I did back here. So I'm up here trying to figure out this throttle body, how I'm going to put it on there. It has been raining all day. Matter of fact, I was coming across I-74 from Indiana to Champaign in my semi, and I had to keep, it was blowing so hard and raining at the same time that the dust was being blown across the interstate, and I had to keep my windshield washer fluid on the entire trip. I wasted a whole gallon, probably wasted the motor and everything. Windshields, windows, everything looked like mud. People were pulling over, not me. I keep going. Anyway, let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, so this is our base gasket, and you'll notice I have it coated in grease. I actually spent about half an hour talking to Offenhauser over in California, and they really enjoyed what I'm doing here. I did order new gaskets for here just in case. They won't be here until Monday or Tuesday. But they recognized how this was gonna work. I told them, and they don't have any single tops like a regular, 4160 flange, but they had duals, and I was like, oh, they would have sold me a dual for like $275, $325, depends. And these, if you go right there, that little green spot where that plug-in goes, yeah, that's actually to dual these. You can get up to like 1300 horse. I don't need that. I'm obviously not that, but anyway, I coated these with grease. That way I'm sure I'll have to take them off and on. Also, it helps seal. And I did the same thing to the base gasket of this. And by the way, the new base gaskets they're sending out with these are way better than the old ones. So I'm gonna try it, and if it leaks, then I'll go get me a Cometic and I'll cut it out. But you know, I've got a weird way that I have to do this. Okay guys, you'll notice these holes. I had to drill these out because normally this would be this way. You'd want the 41 or a Dominator going on the 4160 flange. Nope, this one's the opposite because this is kind of unconventional. But what I'm doing is I got carburetor studs, longer ones, and I have a washer and a nut just like it would be in here. It's the same size, okay, on all four corners. And then this side had to be a little bit longer to accommodate this, and it's gonna work. The problem is, in order to do that, these are the shortest ones I have, and I'm using what I have because damn things are expensive, tired of buying them. I'm gonna have to set this on there with my hand and put the washer and nut on each one and then let it fall. That's the only one, because I won't be able to get in between here and here. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but they told me as soon as they get some of the regular flange ones in, they'll trade me. Or not trade me, I can, you know, they'll let me know. We'll see how this works. Maybe it'll work good, maybe it won't. But, and I haven't tightened these up yet. I'm gonna do all that while it's on there, and I'm doing it tonight. So let's see if I can get this done. So we've been tinkering around with this thing and it keeps blowing the fuel pump fuse. And I unhooked it and tested it with the lead test and everything. I'm getting voltage back there when we put a new one in it, but as soon as I hook up that pump, pop. So yeah, we got a problem. That's how it goes. I'm gonna have to put it back to that old pump. So that pump that I got given in Tucson, she was junk. So I'm gonna have to pull that out. Thank God I cut that hole. So I'll get to that maybe, but I don't know. I've about had it for the evening. We'll see where this goes. So yeah, I probably need to go to bed. I'm working on this thing all night, the other night, putting this thing together, this fuel pump. And it's blowing fuses, right? Well, it's operator error. I grounded out the main cable. Lucky she didn't go boom. So we've got her cut down. I'm gonna plug it in, give her a little zzz, and see if she turns on, make sure, and then we'll put it back. Whatever. Okay, moment of truth. We got lights. Let's make sure we got full power. That's full power. Grounds are tight-ish. And we got lights. Let's see what happens. I need to get a 20 amp fuse, but I don't have one. Keys. I can't believe the buzzer started working. Might have to unplug that son of a bitch. That's annoying. Key on. There goes the pump. Pumpy runny. It didn't pop a fuse. Any fuel coming out anywhere? We gotta fix that line. What do we got? Oh, we may have a little fuel pressure. We do. I'm supposing we need to open that up a bit. About 58, 59. But this Killshot 2 has a built-in fuel pressure sensor inside it. So I'll be able to see it on my handheld, which is sweet. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight.
I'll see you guys in the morning.
Good morning. A couple things I've done. Went and got my adapters for my temp sensor, got that done. We got the oil line, pressure line ran. Kind of going through and tightening fittings too, because there were a couple leaks. But now we just need to get this O2 bung in here. I've already measured it out and where it goes. I was talking to a couple of professionals, and they told me 6 inches from the collector, which is another 4 inches to the where it actually collects, so it should turn out pretty good. But I don't think this is stainless. It might be. That could be a problem when I'm welding. But first thing I do, I have to get it marked. You're gonna take you a step bit, it's the easiest thing, and you're gonna make about a 3/4 hole, I think. Should be. This one, yep. We're gonna get her centered. Should probably put a Let me get my blowgun out.
That thing might actually be on fire.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is stainless. Man. Alright, friend came over to say hi, so a little bit behind, but we're still going. So that's terrible welding, but it'll work. Went ahead and put the makeshift plug wires on it. We're going to make wires for it eventually. But I can't find my exhaust gaskets that I bought, so we got to go anyway and get an alternator. So we'll just go do that real quick. We'll be back. Alright, so everything's up. Didn't want to bore you with all the wrenching, but O2's on, everything's on. Full of water, full of trans fluid. Made all the checks, all the balances, except for I don't know what I'm doing. We need to set up this thing right here through the wizard. So let's get that done. Yeah, that annoying buzzer is back. Key on. We're at the fuel pump. Killshot, or is it? Does this have a thing for Killshot too, or is it just Killshot? Full House, Deuces Wild. Okay, nope, it's just a Killshot. This is a lot nicer screen than the first one, ain't it, buddy? First time connection, enter the wizard. Yes. Imperial. I don't know what that is. Killshot. Killshot. Mild. This one has a mild cam in it. There. Force TPS 0 learn. Yes. Oh, magnetic. Number of injectors 4. Yep. Way bigger than that. Why would they have something on here that goes to like, well, god dang it, 455. Let's go back, go back, go back. 455. Come on.
I said check mark.
Oh. Fine. 850, that's fine. Mild. Save. Yes. Now please turn off the key for 5 seconds to make configuration active.
1,
Effective.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I hear everything doing its buzzes and noises. Don't show me this again. Here we go. So we got There's your IAC. Battery is really low. Map. This is your temp. That's important. 15 degrees. Okay, so to do this right, we're gonna have to go into the here in the tuning, spark. I think, let me treat it, see if I can find it. Static timing. Nope, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. Monitor. Ignition timing. I gotta lock it in. I'm trying to remember how to do it. I don't have instructions right in front of me. Back. Is it settings? No. Tuning, spark, timing, offset, ignition timing, coils. Oh, here we go. Killshot. Lock. We want to lock this. We're locking in our distributor. That way we can set it to 15 degrees before top dead center. And we're ready. Okay, so get the computer off the top of everything. I want to be able to see this thing. I need to get, before we do anything, I got to get timing light hooked up, and then we'll fire her up, see what happens. So I'm going to shut her down for right now. Okay, water check. I hooked up the PCV because that's part of this whole setup. I want to make sure it's right. But I got Zeppy in the car. I got my timing light set out here at 15 degrees. And if this thing fires off, let's let it idle a second. And then I gotta let her warm up enough till it opens up, and then I got to set that thing to 15 degrees. Lock it down and then open it back up on the handheld. So here we go with my new ACES on a 455 with a tunnel ram that is absolutely too big for a street car. All right, Zeppy, turn the key on. There's no leaks. Let me let this thing start so I can watch it. All right, buddy, hit it. Oh. Cycle the key again. Cycle it off. Turn it back on. Alright. Hit it. Alright, fire it, just turn it. What the hell is going on? So everything seems to be running well at idle, like the AFR and everything. But as soon as we hit the throttle, bleh, she dies. I've tried the different configurations that are known in the system, stock, mild, and race. And this one is definitely not race. It could be mild, but it's probably smaller than what normal mild would be. I've tried every different way. The only thing that makes this thing where I can bring it up off of idle is if I'm not using the timing. So this may be a situation where maybe it just don't like the timing. I don't know, but we're working on it. So as soon as I figure something out, I'll let you know, because it runs. It idles well. Idles real well. Power steering's working, everything's working. Fuel pressure's right on, 44-ish. Now I found a fuel leak. The return line in the back is leaking. I'm gonna have to put a whole new line on it. It can leak right now. That's fine. So anyway, let me do some checking, and I'll get back with you. I can get it to idle. I can get it, you know, I can mess with the tables and you can hear things changing and all that, but no matter what I do, if I hit that accelerator, that throttle position, it'll fall on its goddamn face. But if you grab the secondary and just flip it, it'll rev up. Ain't that some shit? I'm gonna get online and do some computerized thinking. So it idles so good, it sounds so good, but I'm definitely gonna have to do something. I'll have the guys down in Tennessee or Kentucky do it remotely or something, because it sure sounds good. I can't wait to hear it run, you know, like really run. Oh, it's on the ground too, by the way. That's how it's gonna sit. But I'm gonna get on a computer. I may be back. Okay. Welcome to a few days later. I've been messing with this thing. It absolutely will not rev. I got with a couple of ACES guys. I got a couple of guys down in Kentucky and a local guy trying to figure out why this thing won't rev, right? I had a buddy of mine here in town, a tuner that does everybody's around here. He actually made me a table, a fuel table, because I'm a completely honest person when I tell you I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to that. Okay, so I ain't done a lot of filming on this because frankly I'm fed up, but I know what it is, and it's this damn distributor. It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing with the ACES setup. Luckily, I do have another one on the way that's just a ready to run, old school, magnetic, with a coil, and I can hook that up on here too, and I can just set it myself by ear, which, great. I'm better at that anyway, but let me show you something. So your random ACES setup is really easy to deal with. No, it is not perfect when you first get it running, okay? But you know how smooth that is? Running great when it's at idle. But I had to go in here in tuning, spark, and ignition idle. I had to set to 8 degrees, cruise to 22, wide opens at 28. I ain't really messed with that, okay? But if you had it set to where, you know, it should be, it backfires. But now, since I set everything so low, but hear it? It loses spark. That's the most I've been able to rev it, right there. But if you come in here and you lock your timing, which is what you do when you're gonna set it to 15 degrees, okay, we got it locked. That means that thing's not pulling or pushing or doing anything. Look at this. Yeah. So that thing ain't doing its goddamn job. So it's coming out, and that new one don't come in till Thursday, which that'll be a nighttime. That'll piss off the neighbors. That's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of messing with this because it's not happy. It's getting fuel. You can see it. timing is not doing its thing. I'm pretty sure it's in that freaking distributor. But let me toy around a little bit more. Okay, so this is some really crazy shit. Look at that. You see that? Look at those settings. All right. Okay. What the hell, man? Why would it? There's got to be something wrong with that distributor. Gotta be. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Just tinkering. And my fancy Ryan Star Racing. And of course you put it in here, it doesn't line up. So that's not gonna fucking work. So that's what I get for thinking ahead. Cheap piece of shit it is. Well, it's a couple days later and it's 10 o'clock at night. I just got home. It's Thursday, I think. Hey, Storm. Storm's coming to say hi. It's Thursday, it's something like that. Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, it doesn't matter. I gotta work tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and it just goes on. I don't have another day off until we go to Power Tour. So, I got a new distributor for this car. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. It's a ready to run. I'm getting rid of the computer controlled. I know it runs when you drop that down so low that the computer can't really make heads or tails. And it runs great, so ready to run it is. Putting a regular coil, and I'm just gonna do it by ear. That's the way I do all the rest of these, and they run great. So I've had enough piss-assing around with computer controlled. It might be the distributor, it might be something in the ACES computer. Don't know, don't care. All I care about is getting this thing going so I'm not busting my ass up until the last fucking second to leave. Make sense? Okay, let me get to this. Yeah. Look at that shit. Good Lord. China wall. Completely the China wall. Right there. How in the hell? So now I need to clean all this up, and I'm going to try to inject silicone in right there. I can feel where it's coming right there. Like that. Let me clean that up. So I got in there with my tube with the nozzle on it and cut it off, and I stuck it in that crease and just splashed it in there. I cleaned it all up good, and it looks like shit. Don't care. If it stops the leak, it stops the leak. If it don't, I got another in-tank gasket. We'll just have to take all this back apart. I'm not taking any chances, but I think it'll be okay. You really can't see it. I couldn't show you how I'm doing it, but literally stuck it that way up in there and then just squeezed on it and moved it back, and then I put some on my finger too and ran it around that edge. So hopefully that'll stop it. I cleaned it out real good, but all right, we'll pop that distributor down in there real quick so it's done. And then all we gotta do is worry about getting this coil off and putting in a different one. So, well, I have a nice ACES coil for whatever I do next, I guess. But, okay, let me get it in there. So this is more of a point style, but it is converted to electric magneto 12 volt, which is just fine with me. And it's easier to mess with when it's in this car, because you ain't got a lot of room back there. You just got to kind of make sure you get it in the right spot, and it'll only go on one way, right there, and it fits nice and tight. It's just got these little flip ups. Fine with me. But now we got to take this cap off. This is also Speedmaster, by the way. It's in there. I just wanted to get it in, make sure it fit good, and that fits a lot better than the other one as far as snug fit and range of motion and everything. For some reason, That other one just ain't worth a shit. This one fits perfectly. I got plenty of swing, and before I, when I get the coil and everything, I'll set this again. I'll bump it until she pops and get my top dead again, but should be about right. Right in here is number one of them two, and I got plenty of swing in there to get it to where I need it to be. And I will run a vacuum advance. This ACES units, they have both manifold and yeah, I can't think of it right now, I'm tired, but they've got it. So I got to run one to PCV, one to brake, and I got plenty of vacuum on this. 15 inch-pounds on a tunnel rim, that's crazy. But yeah, I am gonna have to work on that though. It doesn't want to give me full throttle, which I really don't need, because full throttle would give me way more RPMs than I want to run on this, but it looks cool. That's all that matters, right? As long as it looks cool. That's all I can get done. I gotta get to bed. I gotta get up early in the morning. I just wanted to make sure it fit and everything. Said I got the coil ordered. I can use another coil on this, but it takes a below 1 and below ohm, and the only thing I got here is one that's about 1.718. No, we'll get one that's down. So anyway, I'll see you on the next day. All right, next night I just got home, literally walked in the door, didn't I, buddy? He just got home from a friend. His last day of school was yesterday. Plugs out, rotor's visible. I'm gonna have him bump this thing until I hear the poop. All right, Betty, bump. A little more. One more. A little more. Whoa. Oh man, we're almost there. I'll get that by hand. But yeah, we're right on. We won't have to change anything. Once I get that line lined up, that thing should be in place. So let me do that real quick. All right, so I think I got it wired right. Speedmaster sent a nice little form on how to do it. I knew where I had to go with on the ACES setup, so now I got an entirely another wiring harness that I'm not going to use. So it's just going to have to sit up under the dash. Got it all wired up. It's the first time I've already switched it in the handheld that this is a coil negative system now. Fingers crossed, got the timing light ready. Let's try not to blow up the neighborhood, but alright, buddy. Turn the key on. Give it a second. Alright, let's try it. Totally better. Right out of the gate. Can't believe it. That thing sounds amazing, man. Sure test. See what she sounds like firing up. Watch your fingers. Driveshaft yet. It's done. I just gotta go get it. Man, I'll bet this stuff gets burnt and tires on.
Oh, we got it right to the side tire, so
Now we just gotta finish all this shit so we can get what's the name take for a drive with the computer. Dial her in. Man, I honestly can't believe it. All that work and my favorite engine I've ever built finally sounds like it's supposed to. And all it took was me to change the distributor. I still got some tweaking. Don't get me wrong. Got to get in the box and get her on a computer and get her wound in. We got to get this damn thermostat changed. It is bad. It is really bad, but it'll work. We'll get it. I got to clean up my wiring in the car. Clean up my wiring out of the car, definitely. Double check. Got to get all this stuff plumbed in, you know, good, not a friggin' mess. But yeah, you can touch that intake. That is awesome. You can touch that. It's like its own cold air intake. No leaks at all, which is good. This is not wired. This shit, I ain't doing that. That's the wrong connector, but I'm out of these little blue ones, so I just made one that will work. Coil's not too extremely hot. It's going to get air movement on it. That's what I want. We'll mess with that fuel pressure. It seemed a little high, but we just got to clean up the wiring around here and clean up the inside of the car, put the seats back in it, put the carpet in the trunk and on the back dash, and then we got to figure out this thing. I don't like that being open like that, so I'm gonna have to get some metal or something that I can screw in on both ends somehow. And then I gotta get this smaller and tightened down. And then I have the linkage that goes to the butterflies, and it hooks to this, but I don't have the bar. It didn't come with the bar. All it comes with the thing that goes on the end here. So I'm gonna have to get something to bend down into there. We'll worry about that later. We can drive it like this. We'd like to get a water guard too, but we'll see. Those all easy peasy things. Keeping it cool and the timing where I want it. I did figure out this distributor. It's not like the mechanical advance I'm used to. This one here, it's like a, I don't know, it's almost like it's on a spring. I've never messed with one of them before, but I put my timing light down there and you rev it up and it'll go way up to like 36, 38, and then it'll come back down. And then this vacuum advance kicks in and it sticks at about, when you get to about, I don't know, if you're cruising like 2200 to 2600 RPM, it comes down to 21 and it stays perfect. I've never seen anything like that. A little different. We'll try it. If it don't work, we'll go to my other school, but I'm trying to keep this cheap, guys. Budget. And with that, I got to go inside because I got to get up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's 10 now, and I got to work tomorrow, but I'm off Sunday, Monday, so we'll have the drive shaft tomorrow. It'll go in tomorrow night, Sunday, maybe we can take this thing for a drive for Memorial Day weekend. No hood, because that's going to be a whole nother thing. I got to cut a hole in the hood. Not exactly sure how to do that. Well, if I screw up, I got an extra. So, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. See you tomorrow or the next day. Well, good morning, YouTube land. I did work on this thing last night. It is now Sunday of Memorial Day. That leaves us about 2 weeks. We're leaving in 2 weeks. Couple things. I thought it was going to rain last night, so I went ahead and did a few things. Changed thermostat out, made it a 180. The thermostat that was in it was bad. It was getting up to 210 before it would even open, and then it was trying not to. Put the 180 in it. 185 as hot as it got. Perfect. Did put the drive shaft in. Did run and get it from my buddy Scott. Got it put in. What else have I done? I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh yeah, I tried to fix the oil leaks in the intake manifold. It don't look the best, but if it works, it'll work. If they don't work, I do have another intake manifold gasket coming. What I need to do today is get this wiring all loomed out, decent. Oh yeah, bled the brakes. Brakes work great. I get to get the wiring all done right, the way it's gonna be. I need to get the computer and everything mounted inside somehow. I need to adjust the transmission cable. It's a little off, but nothing major. That's easy peasy. And then we need to start working on finishing the interior up, which don't take much. It's just that back dash thing and get the seats in it. That's it. This thing's almost ready to drive, which is pretty exciting. With 2 weeks left, that's not bad. I can get it to a shop. We'll get it to a alignment shop, definitely, with all new ball joints and all that stuff. I also have to get on Artemis. I need to weld some exhaust parts. I need to lift it up, check everything, make sure everything's good to go. Should be. I need to update that dash, that 7-inch dash in there, which that ain't no big deal now that I know how to do it with the computer and stuff. So, all right, let's do some wire looming. This is boring shit. Whatever, you know, we'll get there. And Maggie, you gonna bark right in the middle of it, ain't you, sweetheart? Yeah, she's our big. That's Grandma. She's the sweetest dog you ever met in your life. Next to him too. He's big baby. You know what? First things first. My local Rural King carries this carpet. It's just this cheap, like rug carpet. $22 for this big ass roll. And there's enough to do all this and underneath the seat and right there on that tray. So it's going to work out good. I've done this to a couple of my cars. Bonnie's, and you wouldn't even know it's not original. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along here as straight as possible, and then we'll go up and we'll trim so that stuff will flop over the fenders. That helps with noise, you know. It helps with a lot of the noise. Excuse me. So let me get this cut out, and then we'll try to cut out some for the inside too. Oh, could it be better? Oh, absolutely. But look at that. Perfect cut. All we want is something to lay on it. You know, that way everything ain't just sitting on metal. So that'll do just fine. On to the next. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah? Pretty nice in there now, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Me and Bubba here been getting this back dash carpet in. And I can show you what it did. So I had a bunch of cardboard, obviously, because I lay on it. We just put cardboard down, punched holes through the cardboard, and just ran 4 all the way down to the other side. We ran 4 zip ties, and I had that piece of cardboard And just anything helps in keeping shit from coming inside. And I'm gonna leave this carpet on there. Now I gotta cut out everything, but first I need to make sure that carpet's adhesed to that cardboard. So I'm gonna get this in there and spray that, make sure it's good and flat, and that is done. And then we just gotta cut off the excess here. No big deal. Done it a million times. Except usually I had the back thing, you know, was there. This one don't have it. So let me get this in. Cheap yet effective. Look at that. Nice little spot for it to sit on, covering a lot of the air from the trunk. This is covering a lot of air from the trunk. Had enough carpet, and it's folded down to about right here over that cardboard I put on. I put cardboard, I guess I didn't show that. Maybe I did, I don't remember. But the carpet covers the cardboard too, extra protection. The seat was a son of a bitch to get down, but it's on there. And we're gonna wait on the bottom. Speaker wires to run, y'all. Did you hear that? Speaker wires to run. I guess he ain't listening, or he ain't back there. There we go. I just got to put Velcro on those speakers, the bottoms. And there's the back seat, which he may or may not be riding in. We don't know if Aiden's going to go yet, but a lot of cleaning to do yet, but that's done. Now it's to start getting this looming and all this wire where I want it to be. This is I hate this part, but I'm not going to bore you with it. I'll just get it all done and show you the end result. Doing the boring stuff. Doing the boring stuff. We got to go to Menards and get a few more of those clips. I need 2 or 3 more for little things. We got to clip some things, put some things tight. This is mounted. We just got to get a piece of all thread to go from here down to that bottom rung right there. That way when this pulls, this goes it can be closed though, because you know it's open in the bottom, but it looks cool, right? This is all buttoned up, this is all buttoned up. That's good enough. We need to get a few things on that. Zeppy's in here sitting in the Cutlass, but all the wiring and everything is all out of the way except for that. I gotta get that's speaker wire. We'll get to that later. But we need to run to town, and we're gonna take these door panels off when we get back, replace the windows, replace the locks. We'll have a functioning car, buddy. What do you think? Oh, we gotta get gas too. We've been sitting here idling too much. So, all right, we'll be back. Woo! If you noticed, it's dark out. I have been just going to town, getting all the wires and all the hoses, boring shit. I'm not going to sit and film it. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, but I can show you what I've done so far, and I can tell you right now, the next thing I'm doing is I'm putting the stereo in this thing because we need tunes. But we may be able to drive this tomorrow. It's too late now, but I had to fabricate a few things, but I think it'll work. Look at that. Couldn't find the brackets, so I just bent me some all thread, locked 2 nuts together with a washer, drilled that out to fit this 1/4 inch, and now she goes just fine. That'll work. It's fake anyway, guys. See? All it does is just throw extra air, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how it works, but Zeppy thought it was cool, so that's why we did it. If Zeppy thinks it's cool, we're doing it. Just kind of randomly put everything together. I need to do something about that yet. That sucks. Right there. This is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. I'm gonna put a zip tie around that to hold that thing steady. But yeah. I mean, other than that, we got, like I showed you, got all the back together, got all the wires put up, got everything that needs to go. And she fires right up. 185 degrees, 180 degrees, right around there. Oil leaks ain't leaking. I've been running it all day, so I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and put the stereo in, I guess. I'm not gonna film any of that. It's power wire, speakers, already got them ran. I'm just going to get that stereo up in there. That way we got it. I got to get a power supply on it. And I think that's it. I think that's it until tomorrow morning. It'll be Memorial Day. Thank you to all the veterans, past, future, present, doesn't matter. They're the best of all of us. So anyway, we got a thing to get to tomorrow morning where it's a thing we do every year for Memorial Day service at Amber's hometown cemetery, and we make sure we make it to that every year. So I'm just going to put the stereo in. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Morning, buddy. Boy, did you miss out on a lot. Because you was sleeping.
And cold.
Cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just about to see if it'll drive. Ready?
You gonna drive it to Edgewood?
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, this morning we got Memorial Day festivities that we do every year. We don't miss them. And it's about 20 miles from here. Might be a good
Test drive.
good test drive. Knock the dust off of things.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna take it and see if it'll run right here like I always do, real quick, and we'll go from there. Looks like Mom's getting ready to leave. So I don't have any time, so let me take this thing across the other side of the driveway. Here we go.
Let me get you. Go do a burnout back here. I'm getting ready for the perfect shot. I didn't even notice you installed new mirrors. Oh, gee. They look scary. Like usual. Boom. Now you're not the one with the only driver's car.
So we're gonna go get fuel and we're gonna head 20 miles. We're just gonna take it for a run. There ain't nothing else we can do, right? Hood pins out and all. We don't care, do we? I grabbed a few tools that I could find, and we're just gonna go get gas and see how it goes. Fingers crossed. All right, we're fueled up. Notice we ain't got no turn signals all of a sudden. We'll figure that out later, but we're gonna head about 20 miles south of here. See how she does. went through our services and everything, got that so far. So far, Gutlass is doing really good, except for the no turning signal thing. And I do need to bump up the timing, I believe, a little bit. Just a little. Not a lot. I'm not going to mess with it right now, though. I'll wait till I get home. It's running too good. I don't want to mess anything up. Right? All right. So we're going to have some breakfast here, and then we're going to take her home. So did a small timing adjustment. We're done with all of our stuff. We're getting ready to head home. But it seems to be very, very happy. By the way, that's not bottomed out. It's bouncing. So I think we're good. We'll just head her on home. Right, buddy?
Night.
Well, I tell you what, I consider this thing mechanically done. It went from here about 20 miles away, then back home, and then I do a thing every year on Memorial Day, and that's I go to the graveyard where my father is buried, and I visit his grave because he was a war veteran from the Korean War, and it's just something I do every year. And every year since he passed, I've taken Gutlass here because, if you know the story, I grew up in a 72 Cutlass. Now, would have my dad liked this car? Yeah. Would he have liked that I built it? No. It's not practical. It's not practical at all. So he would have said, what did you do that for? How are you supposed to drive that back and forth to work? Well, my work's in the backyard, and this thing starts up and fires and runs and drives great. But I did go visit his grave and then stop and have a visit with my sister. And we got a few more little things to do here. The locks. I'm just going to kind of button up a few more things with the wiring. I don't even think I'm messing with the plug wires. I think I'm just going to leave them. I think it'll be just fine the way it is. I do need to make a bracket or something to go from down here to this to hold them steady, because it likes to move a little. There's nothing holding it. When you got two of them on there, big ass tires, no penis. Anyway, whenever, see how that shakes? When you have two of these on there, you know, when it's dual carb setup or whatever, this will stay put, but it won't. It wants to move, so I'm gonna have to make a bracket or something to get this thing to stop. But a couple other things. We're gonna change the oil, probably bleed the brakes one more time just to be sure, and that should be it. People in their small penis tires. But I think with just some buttoning up, we'll get that hood cut and put on here. I might show a little something about that, but other than that, we'll see you at Power Tour. So anyway, guys, that's Gutlass. A long time coming for this car. This one probably means more to me than any car that we've done on this channel, possibly in my life, really. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Zeppy loves it. Everybody loves it. It's something different. But make sure you head over to the Printify store, pick you up some merch. This is my duct tape drags. It's not mine, but we probably will be there again this year in this car. But check out the Printify store, get some merch. I appreciate every sponsor, especially on these two, ACES EFI, thank you, and Evil Energy. Those were the two main helpers of this build, with that throttle body setup and all the line and fittings and filters and everything. This took everybody. It took us, me, Zeppy. It took Justin Richardson, who's a fantastic tuner down in Kentucky. I believe he's in Kentucky. I'll put a link to his YouTube page in the description. I appreciate Roadkill Customs, who stuck with me through all this. My friend Joe Gasper, a local tuner who's been trying to help me with this. Speedmaster, and of course my all-time favorites being lugnutguys.com, who supplied the lug nuts for this car, possibly some wheels in the future, not sure. Super Clean, who
got a workout. Didn't show a lot of it, but boy did I use a ton of super clean on this car. And just thanks everybody for your patience while I got this out. If you notice, when I started this, my beard was about that long and it was dark. Now it's that long and it's gray. So that tells you how long this took. But we're about 2 weeks from Power Tour at this time right now, and I still got to get Artemis a few things figured out on him. But again, thanks to all my sponsors, thanks to everybody who's affiliated with my channel and me, my friends, Zeppy, Amber for putting up with me for being out here till 2 o'clock in the morning every night. That's just how it goes sometimes, guys. So if there's anything new I can show you, I'll put it out there. Other than that, hope to see you out on a Power Tour. Appreciate you guys. Take care. See ya.